Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, one half a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us.
Hell yeah.
They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second.
Hey guys, this is a very important broadcast. Actually, podcast. Is it podcast or broadcast? How about it's whatever we're going to call it. At this day and age, you pronounce things however you want to, so I can call things whatever I want to call them. We're going to talk about God, religion, and probably not in the sense that you're used to. I want to let you know how I came to where I was at. It started with when I was younger. My mom was a Christian and my dad was a Jehovah's Witness, and I always felt torn. And I remember I used to pray, God, why is it this mystery? And as I got older, I kind of started to figure it out. I know a lot of people, they follow their religion because of tradition, because of what their parents say. You listen to what the world says, and they're like, "Oh yeah, people are just afraid to die, so they, they want to fall on something, they want to lean on something." And I think I will do a pretty good job of debunking that and defending my faith, but at the same time, if there's one thing I know, it's do not be dogmatic about anything. And what am I talking about? I think that so many people, and it's kind of the Rush Limbaugh syndrome is you listen to the old Rush is Right, and people are like, he's so dogmatic over everything. Things are what they are, and that's just the way it is. And the thing of it is as you get older, you learn that your belief and my beliefs overlap in a lot of areas, and the areas where they don't overlap, well, can we look at those independently without even having an opinion? As soon as you want there to be let's say your evidence to weigh this way or that way, well, at that point it's just it's not an opinion anymore. It's, I'm a Laker fan and I don't think he was holding. Well, no, it's not that you don't think he was holding. It's no, you don't want the penalty call. So I think on most things, if we could come to this agreement, think like an atheist, and come to it with just the facts. But the problem is even that's getting watered down. Atheists, they have their agenda too, and we all kind of do. So as a Bible-believing Christian, I just tend to believe the essentials and I'm dogmatic on the essentials, which is how you're saved. But where we're going after we die, I don't know. What's the best way to live while we're here on this earth? I don't know. I mean, I could tell you my opinion, but we all know what they say about opinions. Everybody has them. Armpits, and they all stink. So I just want to kind of convey to people that some people share my beliefs, but they don't know how to articulate to other people without feeling dogmatic. And again, what I always say, they could tell you what they believe, they just don't know why. So I think it's you. First, what do you want out of God and religion? If somebody's drowning, they don't need a lifeguard. They have to be convinced that they're drowning before they start waving their hands around and say, "Hey, I need to be saved." And so in Christianity, it's we realize that, hey, God is perfect, and if you put anything in that vacuum, now it's not perfect anymore. If you want a perfect vacuum, and God is perfect, so anything that enters it is going to take away from what it is, and it cannot be. So if God is perfect, he doesn't want us in his presence because we're sinners. And I'm probably jumping ahead of myself, but as a Christian, I believe that, the person that is perfect and died for us, when God looks at me, he sees the perfection of his son. So therefore, I can't do it on my own because I'm not perfect. I'm going to go in that vacuum, taint it, and I'm going to be as bad as almost anybody. So taking a step back, it's, okay, now how do I know there is a God? Well, it's nice to know that we are leaning on other things that are not just faith, other things that you could go and look up in the secular world that help to prove a God. And I say help because, you cannot prove certain things, and I think to basically God, when they say God is mysterious and he has to be kind of misunderstood to be as powerful as he is, because if we understood it, with our laws of nature, we would not have a God big enough to worship. So, but what I will say is there's more evidence for a God than no God, and a lot more. And there's observable evidence that we can see every day in our life. There's historical evidence, archaeological. Again, public school. Archaeological evidence, and it just goes on. And then there's the personal evidence, and then there is faith. So all of these things, we can talk about at great length, but I will just try to go over, I think, the bullet points in my belief. And again, it doesn't make me right, because who am I? All I am is whatever I've been exposed to. So, but I think it makes my core belief towards the front of being better off. Again, not that I'm better than anybody, just better off. Because let's face it, we're all going over the fence into eternity. That's one thing that we all know. Whether you're Darwin, whether you're Brent Vrolix, we're going over that wall. Let's say that wall is death, and on the other side of that is our eternity. Whether it's nothing, or whether it's heaven, hell, whether it's something that you and I didn't think of, whatever it is, we're going there. That we know for sure. And all I'm saying is, I was told that there's water on the other side, and I have some evidence, and you say that you think there is no water on the other side. And all I'm saying is, here's a life vest, put it on if you'd like. It's nothing you could do, just have this over you, so when you are faced with that water, possibly you will be saved. Now, if you reject that life vest, guess what? It's not that you're not going to go. No, you're going over. We're going to find out. It's just, who is better off? The person with or without? You'll say, well, if there's no water, the person without. No, because actually you and I will be in the same spot. But if there is something over there, and we do need a savior, safety device, then the wise person would say the best decision is to do that while we have a chance to put the safety device on, to wear it. And that's all I'm saying is God saying, I want you to be cloaked with the perfection of my son. Otherwise, it's no bueno for you. And for you to reject that is a foolish decision, in my opinion. I'm not saying that I have all the answers, but in this scenario that I'm creating, wouldn't you agree that it's a foolish thing to not at least investigate, and then if there's some evidence, to take advantage of the safety device?